So it so happens that Kamala did this town hall that was maybe scripted, we could say, but there's a couple things that we need to find out. But first, I need you to watch this clip so you can find out for yourself that the joy is pretty much gone.
Sick and tired of the negative, dark, divisive, dangerous vision and behavior of people who support Donald Trump. It is time for us to say no. We are not going backwards. We're going forward.
They are the ones saying that Donald Trump is the one who spews hate and division and everything. This was a bit unsettling. That's true, unsettling. It's important to notice that this was from November of 2016 in the case of Hillary, but Hillary was already, a bit unhinged back then. But remember the polls? But she had a 99% of a chance of winning. Well, this is what we got now. The Kamala is a bit desperate, and we're gonna see chunks of this town hall to understand the scope of the desperation in this case. And this is the first.
I can't sleep. Do you sleep?
I wake up in the middle of the night usually these days. So to be honest with you.
And Kamala wants to be honest with us that she wakes in the middle of the night. I don't blame her. It has to be very stressful to be, a candidate with absolute no votes whatsoever, no primers, no nothing. You were picked just because of your qualities. Who am I fooling with this? She's a DEI, but shouldn't DEI be the winning ticket? The DEI is so hot these days. It should be easy for her. Why can't she sleep? I mean, that is racist. That is sexist. That she has insomnia. That insomnia should be sued, canceled, because this is it's not possible. She should have this easy. And when I say easy, I mean easy in this way.
You're not, unfortunately. We have some predetermined questions, and hopefully I'll be able to ask some of the questions that might be in your head.
You heard that. The host in this case, I don't know who is the host. She looks like Mariah Shriver, but I really don't know her name. But she acknowledged that they have some predetermined questions. Like there were no spontaneous questions. They already knew the questions that were going to be asked. So Kamala knew the questions in advance so she could prepare for them. I don't know about you, but it is my understanding that is not how town halls work. I mean, it should be more spontaneous. It should be like you can get anything, and that should be if you absolute dominate what you do, if you know your job from A to Z, you could answer any questions. It's like if I was at a town hall and they asked me about human behavior, well, I would answer everything that I knew to the best of my knowledge. If I don't know something, you can ask anybody who has been in a face-to-face class with me. When they ask something that I don't know, I tell them that is a very good question. I'm going to find out about it. I'm going to do some research about that. And I answer that as well on Twitter. But no, Kamala needed to really have this in advance. This is so fake. This is so funny. And phony would be the word, not funny. No. Well, maybe yes. It's funny. It's funny if you think about what is the impact that this could have in Kamala's numbers. Well, that is funny. But phony maybe is the pronunciation of the word that I want to say. But this is the next clip.
I'll tell you, and I know this is a controversial topic for many of us, I love Gen Z. Because we have Gen Zs in our lives. We have kids who are Gen Zs. It can be complicated, I know. I love Gen Z.
Oh yeah, it's that kind of moments that make Kamala so relatable, especially when she laughs like that. Let me see, what the moment that she laughs.
Because we have Gen Z.
No, this part. This part. When she does that with her face, yeah. Let's make a great Zoom for all of you that are having lunch right now. There goes your lunch. It's incredible. You know there's so many crazy things that you can find out when you just look into someone's mouth, but we're not gonna do that. This is not the Discovery Channel, something like that. Or thank God. And she laughs like it, and also does the evil stepmother hand. It's like a claw. That claw reminds me of someone, by the way. Who else is famous for a claw? So many of you already know. If you have been following me for some time, you know which claw am I talking about. In this case, it's the Kamala claw, trademarked by the VP herself. But, well, she is a friend of Gen Z. I guess that Gen Z is so important right now, and Gen Z is absolutely, you can find them on TikTok. But on TikTok, the king, the undisputed king, is Donald Trump. They are eating the cats and eating the dogs and dancing to those tunes, to everything trending about Donald Trump is, he's the one taking Gen Z by storm. But Kamala, it's desperate for that segment of the population. I understand that. This is a race. She needs that slice of the pie. But this is something that she said some time ago that contradicts that just a bit.
What's the other thing we know about this population? And it's a specific phase of life. Remember, age is more than a chronological fact. What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. That is why we put them in dormitories, and they have a resident assistant. They make really bad decisions.
I could give Kamala the benefit of the doubt. You know that I'm always fair. I try to be fair. Sometimes clips can be taken out of context. I don't know if she was mocking someone else. Maybe she was mocking another person who thought this. But if you know the original clip of this, if you know the original video, so I can set the record straight, I will review the original video. You can just tag me on Twitter, on X, or that is the best way. And hey, Jesus, there's the link to the original video so we can find out if she is actually saying this or this was taken out of context. I think it's fair. That's something that we should do. But there are other clips that are a bit more difficult to, claim that they are taken out of context, such as this.
Everybody I talk to says, I have to turn off the news. I can't read anything. I'm meditating. I'm doing yoga. I'm so anxious. I just don't even know. I'm eating gummies, all kinds of things,
There's something that is happening. Many people have reached out to me through email. I'm sorry, I cannot answer all your emails, but I try to structure my recommendations around what you write to me. But yes, you have to tune out sometimes. You have to turn off the TV. You have to go outside, touch some grass, breathe. The world is not ending. World War III is not happening. Just relax. It's something that you have to, channel. But then we have this.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Not eating gummies.
Okay, we got that clear.
All right, so that is interesting. Not eating gummies. Maybe it's the gummies that we're talking about, but Kamala is against the gummies that I'm thinking. The gummies that you are thinking as well. Kamala is against them, right? Oh no, you remember that she was pro, decriminalization marijuana, right? It's like maybe does the gummies that relax you, that can relax you really quickly, but I don't know. But she's not eating them. Yeah, that was not out of context. That was an actual answer to people to, instead of giving them some kind of hope and you can relax, you can just go to vote with hopeful for a new tomorrow. Now, that's not what we got. We also got this.
In many, many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man. But the consequences of him being president of the United States are brutally serious.
yeah, it's that adverb there is, well, you know what they say about adverbs.
There are things that he says that will be the subject of skits and laughter and jokes.
That's something that I really needed to point out. So you know how many times it's like that line that he said when they were at the debate with Joe Biden, and Joe Biden said, mumble something that even my AI system of captions couldn't make out what he said. And Donald Trump spontaneously said the words that literally destroyed Biden at that point. That was it was Scott Adams that said that was the only Rosie O'Donnell moment of the debate. When Donald Trump said, I did not understand what he said. I don't think that he understood that either. And that was very funny. And again, many people know that Donald Trump has great comedic timing, has a great timing for comedy, and they criticize him. Oh, he never laughs. And yeah, it's like a deadpan comedy in which he gives snarky remarks, edgy remarks. He has a very good timing for that, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious in many ways. And now Kamala, who is the party of the joy, and she is famous for her laughter. I'm not going to say cackling. I'm not going to go there. But she's famous for her laughter. She says that, why are you being so unserious? Why are you just using humor? That is so unprofessional. Let's take a second look at that.
There are things that he says that will be the subject of skits and laughter and jokes.
Yeah, and that goes viral, and that must be hurtful. That must be just cope and seethe. That's what makes her wake up in the middle of the night. I mean, I'm surrounded by people who can't write jokes, and they absolutely try to write jokes because they wrote that skit for the Al Smith dinner that they recorded like a Saturday Night Live skit, and well, it fell flat, not only because of the script, but Kamala did not put any energy into it, any vibes. Like, maybe the only time I have laughed at something that Kamala Harris has said when she said about like the coconut tree thing, and that is a bit of a stretch because I was not laughing at what Kamala said. I was laughing at her, which is a sin in this regard. You don't want people laughing at you. You want people laughing with you. Big difference. So that is a big difference. The next clip is Liz Cheney, blinking a lot. This is something that someone pitched to me. She was blinking a lot. I think that she was reconsidering her life decisions, as I mentioned many times, when we say that I don't know if this is something that I should be doing. And she was breathing deeply. You can see at some point, it's quite easy. For example, in this angle, I'm going to zoom in, and you're going to see, you spot the shoulders. You can spot the shoulders, that they go up and then down. There it goes. There it goes. And then she's breathing deeply. Okay, she's either bored or anxious or something, but that is a signal. That's a very important signal that you need to be spotting in terms of body language. When you pay attention to the chest and the shoulders, if you see how they shift in that frequency, is because the person is breathing deeply. And when we breathe deeply is, maybe we are bored or we are anxious. Any of the two are fair game, and you have to. It's very useful to spot that kind of signals. But she was not amused. This is the last clip. I don't want to torture you. This is the last clip that we're gonna be watching about Kamala in this at these events. But let's say it's interesting, to say the least.
If I can just speak to what people are feeling. We cannot despair.
Oh, that is sometimes hard, especially listening to Kamala's clips. I speak from experience.
We cannot despair. You know, the nature of a democracy is such that I think there's a duality. On the one hand, there's an incredible strength when our democracy is intact.
Okay, what means, I would like to know, what does it mean when democracy is intact and democracy is not intact? But it was, because one thing, I think the most important thing about democracy is that, or one of the most important things, let's say that is a factor, is elections, that elections are fair and, secure. But the thing that we have been seeing lately, as in machines, so those machines that I despise so much, that I don't like anything digital. I don't like any screens. I love technology. You know that I love technology. Technology can be great. iPhones, AI, PlayStations, everything. But in elections, I prefer my old-fashioned paper ballot that you put in an envelope and you just put in a box, and that's it. No technology whatsoever, and the counting is by hand. That's so convenient and safe. That's how Javier Milei won in Argentina, because they did everything on paper ballot, same day counting, and that was it. Less than 24 hours, and boom, you have a new president, and you know who you're getting. But democracy intact. My God.
An incredible strength in what it does to protect the freedoms and rights of its people.
Nice. The First and Second Amendment, important.
Oh, there's great strength in that. And it is very fragile. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it.
How do you fight for democracy? Let me guess. Oh, yes, you try to be fair, something that the Democrats are not.
And so that's the moment we're in. And I say do not despair, because in a democracy, as long as we can keep it in our democracy, the people, every individual has the power to make a decision about what this will be. And so let's not feel powerless.
Okay, so far, it sounds like it sounds like Tony Robbins, but Tony Robbins from Temu, right? Like a very cheap Tony Robbins. We are halfway through. It's just 1 minute. 1 minute, I promise.
Let's not let and I get it, overwhelming nature of this all.
It's overwhelming for you to give a coherent speech. That's for sure.
Make us feel powerless, because then we have been defeated. And that's not our character as the American people. We are not one to be defeated. We rise to a moment, and we stand on broad shoulders of people who have fought this fight before for our country.
That is nice. That is nice. She took that from Sir Isaac Newton.
And in many ways, let us look at the challenge then that we are being presented and not be overwhelmed by it. The baton is now in our hands to fight for, not against, but for this country we love.
I mean, this is like prompting ChatGPT to give me the cheesiest speech about why democracy is important, because I have a homework in high school and I needed to just hand in something and I did not do anything. It's like, ChatGPT, do this, please. And the cheese as cheesy as possible.
That's what we have the power to do. So let's own that. Dare I say, be joyful in what we will do in the process of owning that, which is knowing that we can and will build community and coalitions and remind people that we're all in this together.
Oh, that's 15 seconds. Just 15 seconds and we're there.
Let's not let the overwhelming nature of this.
And notice that she has said the word overwhelming like 2 or 3 times. That's something that you need to pay attention to. The kind of words that people use recurrently. Overwhelming. Just take note of that. It doesn't mean directly that she's overwhelmed, but that gives you an idea that if she's using that word that much, that word is on her mind recurrently, because I'm sure that she had the career that she had at this point because she's got a career. She graduated. She was a prosecutor. That's nothing is going to take that away from her. She should have a, larger vocabulary. That can happen to me, who have maybe a limited vocabulary of English, but not for Kamala. So if she begins to say the word overwhelming so many times, then it's worth noting. Maybe, just maybe, she feels overwhelmed herself.
Strip us of our strength. That's how I feel about this.
Nice. You just can just see. It's all that you have to see is how. Okay, look at this. With that sound, all right. No expression. Even if with the very bad quality of the video, she clapping. It's like, oh my god, what have I done? This woman has no idea. She's so clueless. We are so fucked. We are so fucked. I mean, in big way, big time. No. This is so fun to watch. This is the kind of things that I tell you that are so fun to watch in so many ways. Because, yes, it's like you're watching an empire crumble, an empire that lasted like 100 days, like Kamala Harris, run for president. Of course, it doesn't mean that you're not going to go out and vote. You have to go out and vote and make sure that your vote counts. Maybe you can vote early already. Maybe you prefer to vote on November 5th. That's okay. Just go there and vote. That is the most important thing. And also, it's important to know what do you think about this in the comments. Remember that you can download my 100 body language tips completely free in the description of this video, and you will be subscribed to my email list as well. I try to, as soon as I get this show up and running, better organized, that I will start writing again every day to you